NBA star Gilbert Arenas just said this about Bronny James, and another basketball recruit that is one of the top of his class just lost his entire basketball scholarship because of this. Now we're about to get into it. Now before we get in the video, just want to make sure you guys give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video if you enjoy the content that I put out. All right, let's get into it. Now, Bronny James, of course, he needs no introduction here, son of LeBron James, and is arguably one of the better players in high school basketball. He attends Sierra Canyon, and of course, being the son of LeBron, you're going to get a lot of criticism, a lot of hate, and a lot of people talking about you. There's really no way around it, and the media is going to be on you 24/7. Now, with all the hate and with all things that people are saying, NBA star Gilbert Arenas, and I shouldn't have to introduce him to you. If you guys are basketball fans, you should know who he is. He was one of the best NBA players out there, said this about Bronny James: "He's your clone. You don't need to be worried." Now, he was saying this as in speaking to LeBron, but he's basically saying that Bronny James is LeBron's clone. Now, let's think about this. Regardless of skill right now, Bronny James' genetics are a huge factor into his game. Now, height and athleticism are two really big parts about genetics, as well as his overall build. And I think being the son of LeBron, man, you're gifted with some of the best genetics off rip. There's no way getting around that, because look at LeBron. He is one of the most dominant players, being strong and being able to move up and down the court with ease. And when Bronny really develops into that body, I think he's going to be one of the more dominant players out here. As of right now, of course, he's just young and playing on an excellent team with a lot of D1 guys, but when Bronny James really gets good enough and grows into his body, I think he's going to be one of the dominating players on the team. He's going to be one of the best players on the team, and by that time, since he's been playing against such high level competition already, I think his IQ for one is going to be off the charts. Now, on the other hand, I would say there's still some things I need to be worried about, because there are times when Bronny James, of course, has things he needs to improve on. For sure, any basketball player should always know they need to improve on certain skills, whether that's shooting or being more aggressive, which I think for sure, even though if you have the body or the athleticism to do it, you have to have the aggression. And sometimes Bronny James doesn't always seem like he has that type of aggression to go and get it, even though he's a younger player on the team. But at the end of the day, that's all mindset. And for sure, Bronny James can fix that. And when he does and really grows into his body, he's going to be one of the best players on Sierra Canyon, no doubt. Now, LeBron James has even said before that Bronny can shoot better than him than when he was his age. And for sure, I think Bronny is a lot more of a shooter than LeBron was. Now, even if you look at it, the majority of the time when Bronny is playing, a lot of the shots that he's getting are just spot up shots where he can shoot a three or it's a one dribble and then pull up, which I think he has a really nice jump shot for. And that's only pointing to the fact that Bronny James, who knows if he'll be better than LeBron. Now, I think that's a stretch, because of course, Bronny James is not dominating like LeBron did. And the other factor to this as well is Bronny James really doesn't have the same type of need to make it in the basketball world. LeBron really didn't have any choice. This was his one way out to get his family in a better situation. But Bronny James, of course, doesn't have that same type of exact motivation, but for sure he can still be a great player. And a lot of people try to take away things from Bronny just because he didn't grow up like LeBron. He probably grew up a little privileged, but that's all right. At the end of the day, man, it's basketball. And if you really love the game and want to get after it, man, the rest will fall into place. Now, let me know what you guys think if Bronny James is really going to be one of the more dominant players, and do you think he's going to be able to go straight to the NBA when he graduates? Let me know. Now, on the other hand, basketball star Zeon Collins. Now, I talked about him a few days ago, but if you guys don't know, he had actually got into a very serious car accident. Now, he was driving 85 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour lane and actually ended up getting into a car accident. And the victim of the car accident actually ended up passing away, which was very sad. Now, a lot of people were saying some really crazy comments on the video that I made about this situation. Now, after the car accident, they actually determined that he was under the influence and he was puffing a little something when he was driving. Now, this of course ended up being a DUI, and he actually had to appear in court very recently. A lot of people were wondering if Zeon was actually going to still keep his scholarship. Now, he was one of the best players in the country, played with Joshua Christopher and a lot of the really better players out here, and had a bunch of offers from colleges. Now, he was committed to UNLV, and a lot of people were wondering, is he still going to be playing there or not? Now, most recently, just a few days ago, they actually announced that UNLV will be parting ways with Zeon Collins after this.
In a statement, Running Rebels head coach T.J. Altenberger said that we have talked with the Collins family and have come to the mutual decision that it is in the best interest of everyone that Zeon focus on his other priorities and will not be joining our program.
Now, I can't say I'm surprised about this situation. For sure, it's very sad, but I think he might have knew this was coming because, of course, the school does not want that bad look and that bad reputation on them. And once you do something that is going to reflect the school in a negative way, they're not going to want to associate themselves with you. And in this case, he ended up losing his scholarship, and who knows what's going to be next for him. But, we pray for the victims of the car crash and everything that went on, that everyone can recover from this and all the families that were affected by it. Now, lastly, man, Dior Johnson has some serious problems coming up. Now, Dior Johnson, of course, is one of the most highly recruited high school basketball players out here. He has a whole lot of clout to him, and he's a bucket. He can dribble, he can shoot. Man, he's really a great guard. Now, he is going head to head against Frankie Collins. Now, Frankie Collins is another excellent guard, and he actually is ranked 41st in the country. Now, he has offers from all the top schools as well, but he's actually signed to the University of Michigan. Now, if you guys didn't know, Frankie Collins actually just dropped 28 points on Imani Bates and his team. So, of course, this is why we got to hype it up, and this is going to be a fire game to see. Now, Dior going up head-to-head against Frankie Collins. Man, I wonder how many points he's going to drop. If he's scoring 28 against Imani Bates, and Imani is definitely one of the best players in the country, I wonder what he's going to do against Dior Johnson. But only time will tell, but you guys let me know. Do you think Bronny James is better than LeBron at this age? Now, personally, like I said before, Bron was more dominant at this point, and he definitely seemed like he was more aggressive, of course, because the drive. This was his only way out, and of course, if he's good at basketball and knows that he can make a way out for his family, that's what he's going to try to do. And you know the story, the rest is history. He became one of the best basketball players of all time. Now, Bronny James doesn't have that same type of motivation, but for sure, he is going to grow into that type of player. And if he really loves the game and values it as much as it seems like he does, man, I see no reason why he's not going to be one of the best players in the country in just a few years. But like I said, only time will tell. Now, on the other hand, do you think the UNLV guard, Zeon Collins, deserved to lose his scholarship? Now, it's really a sad situation for sure, but, as I said before, I pray for all the families affected, that everyone can recover and that everyone will be all right from this situation. But let me know, do you think he should have lost his scholarship? And do you think Dior Johnson is going to eat against Frankie Collins? That is going to be a fire matchup for sure. And it's going to be one of these, they're both gritty guards, so we're going to see what they really do. Now, Frankie Collins actually played with Jaden Hardy, if you guys didn't know. But this is going to be a fire matchup to see. So hopefully we see a good game here. But like I said, only time will tell with this. Make sure you guys give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video. We're almost at 10K subscribers. Let's keep running it up. All right, so I'm out.